This is 39-year-old Shanay Davis. On March 14th, 2024, Riviera Beach police responded to a call from a local daycare in reference to a discovery inside a toddler's lunchbox. Officers learned the daycare staff found the weapon while attempting to prepare lunch for the child and immediately called police after realizing the firearm was real. Watch what Miss Davis tells police when she arrives to the daycare and let us know what you think in the comments below.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Are you the mom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Stand right here for me so I can talk to them, and then I'll come and talk to you. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming.
First and foremost, where's the weapon?
She had, but let me tell you where.
No, where is it now?
She has it. She put it out of the car.
Ma'am, where's the weapon?
It's in my car.
Okay, let me get the weapon.
It's the owner.
Okay,
She's getting ready to take me to jail. Are you getting ready to take me to jail?
I need the weapon.
Oh. Ma'am, I'm not trying to get your car, so I'm getting ready to open my door. Hello? Ma'am, she's getting ready to... Are you... She said...
Ma'am.
I'm coming. Get it out the glove.
Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Get it out the
Can you
glove.
hold on? Stand all the way back.
Hello?
Hold on, don't walk on.
I'm sorry. Here's the owner, man.
Okay, hold on. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay. It's like, you see, like, they're here. The police are here right now. They're aggressively...
I'm not aggressive.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're not. But basically what I'm saying is she has her gloves on. She's taking a picture of my gun. She's ready to press charges on me and take me to jail, Miss Jackson. And this is what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what happened? Come talk to me.
Okay, you hold on 1 second. This is the owner. Hold on one second. Hold on, Miss Jackson. Please don't hang up because I have to explain to the officer.
In the mean, this her phone call?
Yeah.
Like, these your keys?
Yes.
Hold on, right now.
Okay, so...
All right, so hold on. What happened?
Okay, a grave mistake. Okay.
Raise your right hand.
My right hand.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
All right.
Okay, so my sons go here. I take him to school every morning.
How old is your son?
Okay, so basically, see, Miss Granger.
Can you get out the phone
I'm sorry.
right quick?
Miss Jackson, hold on. Okay, it's like 4 police officers here. Oh my God. Okay, so I take my son here. By 9 o'clock, they close the door and they lock the door. I don't carry purses, all right? I keep my gun in my glove compartment, locked in my glove compartment. I just got work done on my tire. They breaking cars out where I live. So the only reason why I took the gun out of my car is because I didn't want my car to get broken into and they get access to the gun or whatever. So this morning I took him, I put the gun in his lunchbox to bring it outside instead of carrying it there. Like I said, I don't carry purses. So instead of me...
Huh?
So instead, I'm still talking to her.
I already got the 0.
Yeah, and she said she don't want to press charges on me.
Hold on.
Ma'am, it was a grave mistake.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It doesn't seem like anything malicious.
It was a grave mistake. I swear, I'm so sick to my stomach. I'm so sick to my stomach. My son has never seen the gun before. He's never even seen it before. This is why I put it in his book bag this morning. I put this book bag under my arm because I don't carry purses. I don't. That's why I don't even carry the gun on me.
You might want to start carrying the purse now.
Right. All right. Let me call you right back.
All right. So You pack in the lunch. You put the weapon inside of the lunchbox, and then what happens?
And I close it and I put it in my passenger side.
Okay.
The whole point was to take it out before and put it in my glove before I get them out of school.
Okay.
9 o'clock, Miss locks that door. And you already know if you have kids, once they lock the door, you can't get in for the rest of the day to get your child in school.
What's your address?
So their
lunchtime
is at 11 o'clock. So it's between 11, 11:30, something like that. So I get a call between 11, 11:30, and they're like, we need you to come up. Can I at least make a phone call?
Alpha 21 Riviera 1050.
What am I being charged with?
Neglect. I'll let you know in a minute, but go ahead. That's 10-4. I'm gonna talk to her real quick. I'll be back.
Why y'all have to do me like this? And the crazy part about it is I could have just got my son and went home. And now y'all arresting me. Y'all can't NTA? Ma'am, sir?
I'm not the investigating officer.
That decision was already made by our supervisor, so.
Who was the supervisor? Like, y'all not even giving me the opportunity to make a phone call or anything.
You can make a phone call, just this is not the time for the phone call.
I'm at my son's school. My son is right in there. Y'all
He
take me
can't
to
see you,
jail.
ma'am. He can't see you.
And I've cooperated. I said it had to wait for y'all.
Okay, before you go in, let me just.
I don't have nothing
you don't
on
have a bra?
her here.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Have a seat.
Okay, that's enough.
Go ahead and have a seat. You gotta put your legs in, sweetie.
I need to talk to somebody, ma'am. Can I talk to the officer, please?
Ma'am, the decision already had made. The only thing you could do right now is when we go to the station, if there's somebody else you want to speak to, we'll get that supervisor or whoever else that you want to talk to. But right now, you are under arrest. Okay?
What are my charges?
We're gonna let you know in a few. Are you okay with the godmother picking up your son? Yes.
I'm a good mom to my child, and I'm about to lose everything because y'all.
I'm not doubting that you're not a good mom.
Y'all.
It's just we have to do our job.
I know, but this is crazy right here.
She put it in the book bag just for safekeeping.
Yep.
And forgot to take it out.
Yep.
One out of the chamber. One was in the chamber.
It don't work.
Officers go to speak with the staff of the daycare that discovered the weapon in the lunchbox.
Hello.
All right. So who found the weapon?
My teacher, I was standing there talking to the teacher
Is she here?
as she discovered it, so it was kind of like both of us.
Can you both of you guys talk to me? All right. So where were you guys normally when you located the weapon?
Well, all the kids were at the table getting ready for lunch.
All right. So can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear that the statement you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can you tell me what happened?
All the children were sitting at the yellow table. I sits at the yellow table. I did like a circle round. I opened up one child. He was the last one that I got to. So I got to his lunchbox. I opened it up, and when I went to reach for his sandwich, after I picked up the sandwich, I saw the gun at the bottom of his lunchbox.
And then what did you do?
Freaked out. And went to the office and told them like, hey, there's a gun in here. I'm like, there's a G-U-N. And Ms. Sean ended up entering the classroom, and when she entered, she removed the lunchbox from the class.
Okay, anything else that you want to add to the statement?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me what happened?
I was standing in the doorway talking to the teachers down there. My teacher, Shaquisha, was opening the kid's lunchbox, so when she got to that particular child, she unzipped the lunchbox, and she went to reach and she said, "Oh!" And I was like, what? And she was like, come. So she said what it was. So I then went down, opened the lunchbox. I saw.
What color was the lunchbox?
Lunchbox is like a black, maybe navy blue. It's like a dark color with like maybe like white lines in it or something like
Can you
that.
do me a favor? Can you go in her car and get that lunchbox out of the car? It's in the front seat.
It's in the car?
Yeah.
Her car?
Yeah. Okay, so you got the lunchbox.
So I got the lunchbox. I felt the heaviness of the lunchbox, so I know it was definitely a real weapon. But I wanted to, make sure. So I retrieved gloves. I put gloves on. Took it out to make sure that it was a real weapon. That's when I realized, oh yeah, it's definitely real, definitely loaded. I put it back, stuck it back in the lunchbox, and then I immediately called her and told her she needs to get to the school.
Okay, and then what did she say?
I didn't tell her why I was calling her. I just said I need to see you at the school and it's urgent. She kept asking me why. I said I just need you here type thing. We hung up. She said I'm on the way. I say maybe 3 to 5 minutes later, she called back, and that's when she realized why we were calling her. And she was like, I'm so sorry.
Can you show me the area that you guys were in when...
This down here. Right here. He sits right here, right? Right here. The child sits right here. So it was.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. This is Officer Hunter at Riviera Beach Police Department. So, I know that you're the owner and the director of the facility. So, would you like to prosecute as well?
No, I don't, because he got that baby, and the baby needs somebody. He needs his mama. I don't want to do that. I just thank the good Lord nobody got hurt, none of the other kids got gone, and I'm going to have to let her put him somewhere else. So I'm hoping that will never happen with us again. And I just...
Okay. I have to look. Yeah, I understand, but it's other policies in reference to, because this is a school that we have to go by. So I still have to obviously speak with supervisors and make sure that I'm following all rights and protocols, because even though you might not want to prosecute, state says that I might have to, so I have to go by what they say. So I just want to let you know that I will give them a copy of the case number, and you guys can contact for someone to come and pick up the kid, okay? Because I'm not gonna let her make a phone call just yet. Okay.
Officer, I told her that I was not going to press charges, but I didn't know what you all was going to have to do.
We have. It's a whole nother. It's a school, so.
It's too dangerous.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
my little kids,
They asked me the phone number for them.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I appreciate everything you're doing.
Anytime. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's examine the constitutional framework. The first legal issue centers on Florida Statute Section 790.174, the Safe Storage of Firearms Law. That statute provides that any person who stores a firearm in a location where they know or reasonably should know a minor could gain access is guilty of a second-degree misdemeanor at minimum. Where a minor actually possesses or carries the firearm in a public space, the charge escalates, and a licensed daycare is a public space. Davis placed a loaded handgun inside her son's lunchbox, which was then carried into a child care facility. That single act satisfies the actus reus of Section 790.174 entirely, regardless of intent, regardless of remorse. The second charge, felony child neglect, is governed by Florida Statute Section 827.03. That statute defines neglect as a caregiver's failure to provide supervision necessary to maintain a child's physical and mental health when that failure is likely to cause or does cause harm to the child's welfare. The word likely is operative. Florida courts do not require that harm actually occur, only that the risk was substantial and foreseeable. A loaded firearm in a lunchbox, accessible to a toddler, and multiple other young children at a daycare table clears that bar. A third potential charge exists under Florida Statute Section 790.115, which prohibits the possession of a firearm on school property. Licensed daycare and early childhood education facilities fall within the statutory definition of school under Florida law. The presence of a loaded firearm inside that facility may constitute an independent felony beyond the two charges already filed. On the Fourth Amendment, there is no issue here. Davis voluntarily directed officers to her vehicle and to the weapon. Under Schneckloth v. Bustamante, decided by the Supreme Court in 1973, voluntary consent to a search is a recognized exception to the warrant requirement. No warrant was needed. No unlawful search occurred. Davis's cooperation eliminated any Fourth Amendment exposure for the state. On the Fifth Amendment, Davis made multiple unsolicited statements before any Miranda advisement was given. Under Berkemer v. McCarty, Miranda warnings are not required during non-custodial investigative encounters. Davis was not yet under formal arrest when she explained her morning routine, her storage practices, and how the gun ended up in the lunchbox. Those statements are admissible. However, officers continued engaging Davis after the de facto custody began without a documented Miranda advisement. Any statements made during that post-arrest window are at risk of suppression under Miranda v. Arizona. This is a procedural vulnerability in the state's case, not fatal but exploitable by defense counsel at a suppression hearing. It is also worth addressing the daycare director's statement that she did not wish to press charges. That preference carries no legal weight here. Florida law empowers the state to prosecute independently. Victim or complainant reluctance does not bind the prosecutor's discretion. Officer Hunter correctly explained this distinction to the director on camera, a legally accurate and important clarification. Officer Hunter of the Riviera Beach Police Department receives a B+. The investigation was legally compliant and professionally executed. Sworn oaths were administered before witness statements sound evidentiary practice. The arrest decision was escalated to a supervisor rather than made unilaterally, appropriate chain of command procedure for a sensitive case involving a minor. The weapon was retrieved through Davis's voluntary consent, preserving the state's Fourth Amendment position entirely. The deduction reflects one significant procedural gap. No Miranda advisement was documented before continued post-arrest engagement. In a case built heavily on Davis's own statements, that gap creates a suppression risk the prosecution will need to address. Shanay Davis receives a C. Davis cooperated fully, did not resist, and demonstrated genuine remorse. Her in-encounter conduct was legally unremarkable and favorable to her. However, under Florida Statute Section 790.174, intent is not the governing standard. The statute asks what a reasonable person should have known. A reasonable person placing a loaded firearm into a child's bag to be carried into a licensed daycare should know that a minor could access it. Davis described a specific plan to remove the gun before drop-off. That plan failed. Under the statute, failure is not a defense, it is the offense. The daycare staff receives an A-. Staff immediately escalated the discovery, isolated the weapon, cooperated with officers, and provided detailed sworn statements. The deduction is narrow. The director personally handled and inspected a loaded firearm before law enforcement arrived. Best practice in such situations requires securing the area, keeping children away, and deferring all weapon handling to trained officers. That deviation created unnecessary risk of accidental discharge. Intent was responsible. Execution was improvable. The core lesson here is not about bad intentions. Davis did not bring a gun to a daycare to harm her child. The lesson is that Florida's firearm storage laws are strict liability in effect. They do not require malice, only a foreseeable risk of access by a minor. Lawful gun owners who carry without a purse or holster, who improvise storage solutions in a hurry, take on legal exposure. The moment a child is in proximity, whether that child is their own or someone else's. A locked vehicle with a secured glove compartment is legal storage. A toddler's lunchbox is not. That distinction, under Florida law, is a felony. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to analyze in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our second channel, Audit the Court, for more police interaction and courtroom content.